All right, buenos dias, everybody. Welcome to DR 27, Daily Reading 27. I'm going to share with you what I read yesterday. You can't see it because I'm reading it on Kindle, but yesterday I started a new book, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And I was referenced this book from a couple different angles by a couple different people, and I decided that I was going to take it up, dive into it, and slowly becoming one of the favorite books that I've ever read, to be honest. There's a wealth of information, and trying to condense all of that into a 5-minute video here was pretty tough. But so I read several chapters today, and it started out by telling the story. And this whole book, The Obstacle is the Way, if you dissect the title, The Obstacle is the Way, it's talking about how you perceive, how you overcome challenges, and how you use challenges and obstacles to grow, to get better, and use them to your advantage. And the chapter starts out talking about Rubin Carter, who, for people my age and older, will remember the movie Hurricane. It was about a famous boxer back in the day, Rubin Carter, who was he was African American, and who was unjustly accused and convicted of a crime that he didn't commit. And it just talked about his mentality and his mindset when he entered into prison, deciding that you can take everything you want from me, but you're not going to take my mind. And it also stressed how he made a decision, an intentional decision, to not focus on other things, the negativity, the poor me, the this, the that goes along with being unjustly accused, because every waking minute, every piece of energy that he had went into proving that he was not guilty. And I believe it took him 19 years, but he was able to do so. So while injustices happen to us, this isn't just fluff here. While it does happen to us, how we react to it, how we perceive it, is the big picture. And there was a quote by Shakespeare, and I'm certainly not a Shakespeare aficionado. Sorry, English teachers, but where Shakespeare says, "Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So things happen, and then we, as people, put good or bad to those things. And that gets into the next topic. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but it was such a valuable, reading session today. Gets into this idea of observation versus perception. Observing versus perceiving. And it talks about Musashi, who was a samurai, an ancient samurai, and he brought this idea of observing versus perceiving. Now, observing is very matter of fact. This is happening. This is why it is happening. Perceiving is when we add our stuff to the situation. Let me give you a perfect example how I used observation versus perception in my professional fighting career. So at one point in time, I fought Anthony Rumble Johnson. Anthony Rumble Johnson is one of the biggest, baddest, toughest fighters in the world, and he happened to be a giant welterweight while I was a small welterweight. So the perception side of it would have been, oh my gosh, I'm fighting Anthony Johnson. He's so huge. It's going to hurt so bad. I don't even know if I can take him down. Wrestling's my strongest suit, but he's so big and strong, I don't know if I can take him down. That's perception. That's adding my stuff to the equation. The way I perceived it was, the way I observed it, I misspoke there, the way I observed it was, I'm fighting Anthony Johnson. He's very big and strong. I have to figure out a way to cut the distance, to close the distance, to take him down. This is a very bad matchup, but if I prepare to the best of my ability and am scientific in my approach, whatever, I'll accept this challenge with open arms. Now, did I win the fight? No. He kicked me right about there and knocked me on my butt, and the ref called it. However, the approach, the observation versus the perception, to me, is the valuable lesson, using the obstacle as the way, that I took from that experience. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, it used a couple examples from military and presidents in the past, Ulysses S. Grant and Theodore Roosevelt, but it talks about this idea of cool-headedness. So things happen to us. Stuff happens to us on a daily basis. My son was crying uncontrollably last night. You might get into an argument with your husband or wife. A teacher may unjustly do something to you in the middle of class. That happens to us. Some of the things that these great leaders stress were cool-headedness, poise, and grace. These things are undoubtedly going to happen, but how you receive them, how you observe them or perceive them will make all the difference in the world. So as you go out today, as you face your challenges, maintain poise, grace, cool-headedness, and observe rather than perceive. So I hope you all, here's my little note card for today because it was such a valuable chapter. So I hope you enjoyed this, Daily Reading 27. Tell your friends about it. And if you'd like to catch up on them all, as well as my podcasts and blogs on a regular basis, please visit charlie-brenneman.com. I'll keep pumping them out. I hope you continue to enjoy them. Have a great one.